Okay, listen. What if I asked you to find out how many feet are in a mile? Now, let's also just say you automatically know that there are 5,280 feet in 1 mile. Now, what if I then asked you how many inches are in a mile? Not only do we have to figure out how many feet are in a mile, but then we have to understand that there are 12 inches in every foot, and then that there are 5,280 feet in 1 mile, and then we get a headache because then we have to multiply 5,280 times 12, and I'm not even going to figure this out for you. I don't have the time. I'll Google it later, and then I'll give you that number. But, more importantly, other than giving us headaches, I want to teach you the metric system. So, instead of using feet, because not everybody has the same size foot, we looked at the earth instead. Everybody lives on the earth, right? And this is a constant that everybody can relate to. So what we did is we went to the North Pole. Oh, let me just get that. North Pole. We went to the equator, we took a measurement right down, and then we divided it by 10 about 10 million times. So we finally have the meter. All right, just for clarification, this right here, this right here is the meter. It's about the width of a door. Now, once we got the meter, we were able to increase or decrease the size that we want. So, first up, let me put meter. And if we divide it by 10, if we take this meter stick and we section it off into 10 parts, we will get the decimeter. And then, if we want to section one of those sections off, right, into 10 little pieces, each one of those pieces is a centimeter. And then, if we go even smaller than that, take 1 centimeter, and we separate that little centimeter into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This little part right here is called a millimeter. Millimeter. Alright? And as you can see, they all go off the same measurement, which is the meter. Alright? So, you may be thinking, what if we have to do anything larger? Alright? Because a meter's not that big. If I want to measure the distance from Immaculate Conception, St. Joseph, to, I don't know, my house, all right, I would have to do a larger measurement to make it easier for myself. So instead of using a meter, I would use what we call a kilometer or kilometer. Now, a kilometer is 1,000 meters. And again, it's all divisible by 10. Alright? So if I want 1 kilometer, which is about 11 football fields, I would need 1,000 meters. Alright? And if I have 1 meter, that means I have 10 decimeters. Alright? If I have 1 meter, that means I have 100 centimeters. If I have 1 meter, that means I have 1,000 milliliters. Alright? You just multiply by tens or divide by tens. In conclusion, let's finish that problem I posed to you at the very beginning. Let's actually find out how many inches are in 1 mile. So, let's take 5,280 feet, multiply it by 12 inches, because there's 12 inches in 1 foot, and we got to find out how many inches are in 1 mile, and you will get a grand total of 63,360 inches. Now this, in my opinion, is a very ugly number. All right? Now, let's compare it to the metric system. Now, let's take the largest measurement we have, which is a kilometer, and let's just deal with 1. And according to the metric system, there are 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer. That's easy to remember. All right? All we had to do was add 3 zeros. Now, we also know that the smaller unit, a decimeter, there are 10 decimeters in 1 meter. All right? So 1,000 times 10, 10,000. Now let's go even smaller than a decimeter, which is a centimeter. All right? Without doing really much math, I already know, because there are 10 centimeters in 1 decimeter, so I take 10,000 decimeters and I times it by 10, and I get 100,000 centimeters. And finally, I can even go all the way down to millimeters. And I know that there are 10 millimeters to 1 centimeter, so there must be 1 million millimeters in 1 kilometer.